Alright, I'm going to show you guys how to get started in your Photoshop work. You want to open up Photoshop, which is the PS. Go out and browse out, find your application for the PS for Photoshop. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to create new. And in here, remember we wanted to go out and find a print. Make sure you're in inches here, not pixels or any of that, inches. 8.5 by 11, and we want our orientation to be in the horizontal, and then go ahead and create that. So it should look like this when you open it up. You'll have some palettes over here that you can do. One thing that you want up is layers, so if you don't have layers up, then go up to your view up above and click on Windows and click on your layers stuff right there. So if you don't have any of these on, you can click them on and off here. Once you have your layers on, you'll see you have a background layer that's locked. I've downloaded an image of the Snickers logo. You guys should have a folder full of a bunch of images that you've downloaded. You're simply going to click and drag those in, and you'll see that it has this X through the middle of it. What you want to do is hit return when you get it placed where you want it to go. So if you wanted it to be up here, maybe you wanted the size to be a little bit smaller, and then you're going to hit the return or enter button. Both will place it into place. If you don't place it into place, then it won't let you do the next image. So if you wanted to download another image and bring it in, it won't let you until you place it in place. You'll see it has its own layer now that allows for you to manipulate it. This is the move button up here, so you can click on that and you can move your object around. If you want to resize this again, it is under Edit, Free Transform, and you can free transform it, or it's the Command T. It'll bring up Transform, and you can transform it again and then hit the return and place it into place. Now I'm going to show you guys how to create your masks. You want to use your selection tool right here. This is a lasso tool. You have the polygon tool and some other tools here that you can do. But you want to get the lasso tool. And you can simply click and hold down to create that. If you selected this one, it'll allow for you to go place to place, get back to the beginning. So however you want to make your selection of what you're going to do, I typically like to go to the lasso tool and to get rid of those little dots. So if I'm making a selection here and I say, oh, I don't really want that selection, you can just click off of it and have another selection, or you can use Command D to get rid of them altogether. So those are what I call the dancing dots. So I'm going to just make a grid selection like that. And then it's simply going down here. If you're on that layer, so you turn it on off with the eyeball. If you're on that layer, then it's this button right here. If you mouse over it, you'll see it tells you what these buttons are, but you're going to add a layer mask to it. You'll see you only want to hit it once, and you have your layer mask on there. And you can turn it on and off and see. You can move these around, so if you don't like that placement, you could bring it down here. This mask itself, you can draw right onto that mask. So you could take your brush tool and you can paint right onto that. And if you're painting onto it, it's going to paint right onto that mask. I'm going to make my brush a little bit larger. When you do that, you'll see that I'm painting right onto it and putting the image back into it. If I want to remove, I'm selecting that mask. I'll flip this around. Instead of painting with white, I'll paint with black, and I can paint it back out again. So this is a way to fine-tune it. You can fine-tune your selection. You're painting right onto the mask. So some of the errors that happen is you're on the image itself and you're painting. It won't let you do that, but some people have had where you can go paint onto a layer. I'm going to select the mask itself and paint onto the mask. Black removes. Flip this around. White adds it back in. Okay, so that's a way to paint right onto the mask itself. If you don't like this mask, you can go ahead and delete it. Like the little trash right there deletes it. You pick it up and delete it. Make a new selection with your lasso tool, and then hit this button. And wherever your dancing dots were with your selection is the selection it's going to make. If you find in this layer there's a bunch of extra stuff, if I were to click it a bunch more times, you'll see this shows up. Go ahead and get rid of those extra layers. You only want the one. One layer mask on each one. Of course, at the end, you're going to go ahead and save it out. You save it out as a Photoshop file. Probably title it with your name, whatever you want to name it. Place it somewhere where you're going to know where it's at, and leave these layers on, and you want it to be a Photoshop file. So leave the .psd at the end, and then hit save and OK. You'll see that my file showed up right there, and I'll be able to come back and work on this again. All right, that should get you guys going. So you guys just repeat this process over and over for all your images, and they can overlap each other, and you want to fill in this whole screen. You don't want any white left. So good luck, guys.